Greetings, I am No Talent Red Mage and I am playing Golden Axe for the Sega Genesis. I'm just gonna come out and say this. Final Fight, Streets of Rage, Battletoads, Double Dragon, and Turtles in Time are all significantly better brawlers. Some of them by significant margins. That doesn't mean Golden Axe is bad, it's just up against incredibly steep competition. Competition not made better due to the porting job from the arcade, losing quite a bit in the translation. This doesn't have much to do with the game itself and more to do with the platform. History lesson for you all: Sega decided to go for raw processing power with the Sega Genesis using a Motorola 68000 processor that ran in the upper end of 7 MHz, which was reasonably fast for a console at the time. However, they sacrificed many other aspects to get their so-called blast processing. In nearly every respect, the SNES had it better, everything from color display to sound and even resolution eventually. This made the SNES a better candidate for arcade ports compared to the Genesis, and it really shows with Golden Axe. The arcade version of the game was far more vibrant and better sounding than the Genesis port mainly due to the limitations of the hardware, especially the Z80 sound chip. So yeah, it looks worse and sounds worse, but how does it play? Well, you have the choice of 3 characters. Axe Battler, a barbarian that does not use any of his namesake, a female character fighting in gray and red bikini chainmail, because we all know how female armor works from playing MMOs, i.e. the less it covers, the more it protects, right? And Thunderhead, a dwarf that has a very, very unfortunate name. Like brawling games of the time, each character has strengths and weaknesses, except Thunderhead is better in essentially every single category compared to the other characters, other than maximum magical damage. He has better range, a better special attack, his charging attack was solid, and even though his magic was weak, it was more efficient per jar than any other character. He also did twice the damage in duel mode compared to any other character. Essentially picking your character picks the difficulty multiplier, with the dwarf being the easiest and the chainmail bikini model being hard mode. And the game does do something better than others, and that is 2-player mode. See, in other brawlers you can get away with solo play, just destroying anyone and everything. But in Golden Axe, enemies do not stand around idle while you beat the one guy and then attack you. No, they will surround you and beat you to death with a bag of oranges. Wait, I'm being told that the bag of oranges is a mace. You sure? Oh, okay. Yeah, apparently it's a mace and not a bag of oranges. Well, that's slightly less amusing. Kinda wish it was a bag of oranges still, since a citrusy death sounds amazing. So, how do you get around them mauling you to death? Well, you have special attacks that cause back strikes and like, or rolls, but the better option is a second player to watch your back. More so than most fighters in the early 90s. This game requires, nay demands, more teamwork, especially since basic attacks do not cleave other enemies like in Final Fight or the Konami Ninja Turtle game. In other words, the game is much better with 2 players and nearly requires it by design. Golden Axe may be a weaker game compared to its competition, but to be fair, the original arcade game came out a little bit earlier than its competition did, and its competition is incredibly steep. But I would still pick it up and play it with a friend. You know, if I actually had any of those. Hashtag forever alone. I've been No Talent Red Mage, and this has been OP Dwarf Golden Axe for the Sega Genesis. I'll see you next time.